Abandon all shame in the swimming pool changing room. Stand bare-chested in front of the swaying mirror, let it bend like circus quicksilver. Run your hand over your cello swollen belly and pose, with muscles tight like an acrobat's wire. Do you remember when Angel tried to cut his wings off with a bread knife? You are a cherub protecting Eden, standing in a puddle, holding a towel. You were born perfect, with intention in every brush stroke. You are a piece of marble sculpting itself through the steam. God made you to be transgender. God made you with its thumbprint that you would be fluid and mercurial and chemical smelling. God made you a polyp that you may bloom and unfurl to the sound of childish laughter and echo. You are as confoundingly natural as bioluminescence, as curated as confidence. How must it feel to be God's favourite, to be your own? When you abandon their shame, you'll know exactly what you are. A creator, a creation, a landmine, a reformation. You are everything you have chosen to be, and more. You are a god of a pinprick planet, and your godliness may be more than they can manage, but persist in bursting their blood vessels by being incurable. Persist in bursting their blood vessels by breathing in their barbarism and breathing out invulnerable. Persist with pride and palpable confidence. Persist, my love. You were made for this. Persist in finding incurable bliss with pearlescent smile and fresh-blown kiss for every doubter and every fist, including your own. Freshly minted transgender in a swimming pool changing room. Abandon your shame. Abandon it. I've already given enough hours away. I may as well give the months too. The weeks, the years, to a rusty-eyed cowboy I'd call my love anytime no one was listening. Now he thinks he owes me his life. But I already owed him mine, and besides, my life is cheap, my death on sale, I'd give it for anything. A smoke, a cloudless night, a kiss, or just the simple pleasure of not having it anymore. My life was not worth more because it was the only thing I had. Indeed, it's worth less because I had it first. And now you have it. And you will get drunk on it, and it will be dirty whiskey gold to you. You who always thought I was more than I was, when I was only ever a spur, a sharp tool, something to make the night go faster. I owed you my life because I promised it, because I would promise anything. Because I came to you in a dream and a chasm opened beneath me, and because of that it was a dream and not a nightmare. Because it doesn't need to be good, it just needs to be fast and over. And the chasm blew by like a herd of wild horses, a dust cloud and darkness, a brief sleep, the confounding of hooves. My life has been a cargo train, all shrieking and chugging, derailing, but ongoing. There have been many days in which I've thought that we were meant for each other, when we were stray cats surviving dog bite months, evenings when we unstitched ourselves from the couch and picked at the wounds. We were a twin bed of disasters, begging not just to be known, but to be loved. And when I trace summoning circles on the bathroom mirror, they call forth our conversations, when we clicked dislocated shoulders and made dovetailed joints of our hands. That night that grew until it swallowed, when we leant on each other like broken sets of shelves, all warped and damp and desperate. We discovered we were not recovering as one might recover a piece of lost property. We were recovering as one might recover a dead body from an accident, put it together as best you could, and then bury it. That night when you wept mascara all over the sweatshirt I wasn't washing to preserve the smell. And I discovered that I didn't mind. You were one of the only people who can ruin things without recourse. I'm accepting that we cannot fix each other, that we cannot save each other, but we can wallow together. Like the night when we admitted to losing our futures, to ringing around and retracing our steps and still not finding ambition. We have admitted to feeling guilty, to feeling ashamed, and it being our own fault. Then cheered each other into hysterical laughter and put ourselves to bed. We said, I love you, and it was for both of us, and we believed it. That our worst and most miserable selves could be worthy of a warm bed and a good night's sleep. If archaeologists dug up your bones, they would know what you are. A woman. Yes. And I would seem to them like a medieval drawing of an animal. Some barely recognisable sliver of a story, a page torn from a book. And when the archaeologists hold my gutted house in their gloved hands, they will know only my pulled teeth, my soft calcium-rich diet. They will never know the laughter that turned my ribs to wind chimes, nor the kind hands that I used to stroke my lover's hair. They will only know some vague and optimistic outline and draw conclusions from contusions. They will never know what I really was. And I like to think that in 1,000 years, it will no longer matter what I might have been, who I might have been. All that will matter will have gone in the extinction of my memory. My bones could never betray me, could never be a gallows. They may not know from looking, but I don't think anyone ever has. Last night I dreamed I was wearing the cross you bought in prison. I asked how you found faith there. You replied, Catholics thrive in dire circumstances. I woke up with my fingers on my chest, still tucking your necklace, wondering how we found each other in the first place. Chance encounters are meant to be monopoly money, meaningful only in the moment. As we traded bills back and forth, I wondered how much paper it would take to bury you in my past. How long till I stopped waking up too early for work, hand at naked throat, wondering whether I choked on your name or the blaze of words that came after. I pray sometimes that you are not a cause for St. Jude. How often can we be observed in this side room discussing faith before I become Christian again, in the hopes that you'll be saved? How many Uber ride confessionals till I stop missing the people I couldn't save? And will I ever know if you are worth your weight in I told you so's?